Hello and welcome back to the Crafty Corner. I'm Janna and I'm here today to tell you about the new challenge over at the Funkie Junkie Challenge blog. This week we are playing to the theme of mixed media. This challenge is open from February 23rd through March 8th. And we're greatly looking forward to seeing all of your mixed media entries. To enter, click the link down in the description box, or you can hashtag the Funkie Junkie over on Instagram. Today, I'm going to be mixing and matching my art supplies to create a mini journal. So if you'd like to know which supplies I'm going to be using today, go ahead and pause. All right, let's head over to the Crafty Corner. Today, we're going to be making a mini junk journal using two of the Tim Holtz tin lids from Idea-ology. To hinge these together, I have used one of the Tim Holtz Idea-ology hinges and secured it to these tins with some brads. So let's take a look on the inside for a moment. We have the two tin lids with the hinge to make a nice book, and as we open it up, we have pages inside. So just pulling the pages out, we have got a whole bunch of mixed media pieces to create this mini junk journal. And if we flip it over, we get more little goodies on the back. So today I'm going to be showing you how I made this little hinged junk journal. To start with, we're going to need two of the Tim Holtz Idea-ology lids and a hinge. To start, the first decision is to decide which one of these is going to be on top. I like the star a lot, so we're going to put that one on the top here. Okay, so in order to place these marks accurately, I'm going to quickly tape the two halves of these tin lids together so that they will be nice and even while I make my marks for the hinge. Just wrap this around, set it on the side, making sure that I've got the star in the front, and we'll place the hinge down. Okay. Just hold it like that. Make sure I'm lined up. And add the marks. Okay. Got two of the marks on there. Line this back up and mark the other side. Okay. Now that we have the marks, I am next going to drill out these two tiny holes. To drill out the holes, I'm going to be using a 7 64 inch bit, and I'm using a small hand drill in order to drill the holes. So just turning the chuck until the bit is nice and tight, putting some to forward. There. Okay, I'm going to mute the sound for the next part as I drill out these holes. So I'm just going to turn this at an angle, line up the drill bit, and we're going to apply pressure while we drill into the metal. Okay, now we have our holes drilled out. So I'm just going to unwrap the tape from here, and we're going to attach the hinge piece. So I've got the hinge and we've got the brads right here. I'm just gonna open it up like this. And we'll start with this side. I'm going to place the brads through the hinge and then through the holes. I'm going to hold it down with my thumb, and now that we have these pieces peeking through, I'm just going to flatten out the brads on the inside of the tin. Just like that. There are some sharp edges on the inside. You could file these down using a nail file or sandpaper, but I'm not going to worry too much about them, and I will just cover them up with some collage paper when I collage the inside of the tins. All right, nice and easy and attached. Let's take care of the other side next. Flipping that over, and now we just need to flatten down the brads. Okay, we have those pieces flattened and we now have our hinge. Nice and easy. So we're going to open up the inside of the container, and I'm now going to collage the insides of the tin. For collaging the insides of the tin, I'm going to be using the Tim Holtz collage paper typeset. So we'll just take a bit of this and glue it to the insides. And I am going to rip this chunk into smaller pieces, and then we will start collaging. Just quickly tear this up. Okay, and now I'm just going to start smearing some collage medium on the inside of the tin lid, and we will start to add our pieces. So I'm just going to take a layer of collage medium and spread it around on the inside of the lid, and I'm going to be careful when I'm over by the brads because we've still got those sharp metal jaggedy bits, but I'll just kind of steer away from that area and tap on the collage medium so I can get the paper over it without drawing blood. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now let's start adding some paper on the inside. So I'm just taking the paper, pressing it down, and I'm making sure that it's as close to the lip of the tin as possible. Just tap that down, get a little more collage medium to spread over the top. Shouldn't take too much. Smooth along the inside, and we'll add some more paper. Any collage paper that's hanging over the edge won't be a big deal. I can always trim that off later. Okay, and we'll add some more to this side. That's looking pretty good. Gently smoothing that over the area with the brads. Okay, looks like I just need one more piece for that last corner. All right, there we go. Just a little bit more collage medium, and we will turn our attention to the other side of the tin. And I'll come back later and trim off the extra pieces. All right, that looks good. Let's go ahead and put the second part on fast forward. Okay, we've finished collaging the inside of the two tin lids. So we're going to set these aside for now and let it dry. Now it's time to create the interior pages of this mini junk journal. To do that, I'm going to be cutting apart these two pieces of mixed media paper. For trimming, we're going to use the mini Tim Holtz tonic trimmer. So for the measurement on these, I want 2 by 4, and we're going to trim it down a little bit more when I measure it exactly to the tin. So these are just rough measurements at the moment. So we'll just quickly slice and dice these and start making our pages. Once I have these all cut up, I'm going to be folding each page so that we have 2 by 2 inch squares to work with. Okay, Now I'm just going to trim off 1.5 inches to get these down to 4 inches. In order to get these pages to stick together to make that long accordion fold we saw earlier, I'm also going to be using a combination of washi tape and some of the Idea-ology fabric tape. Okay, the pieces are all now neatly trimmed, so we'll just fold these in half. Okay, and I'm just going to crease them with my thumbnail. Nothing fancy. Since I did a girl-themed mini book for the first tin lid set, I decided I wanted to focus on a grungier boy type tin this time round. So we're going to have fun playing with some grit and grime and getting a bit grungy with this make. Okay, so I've now got all of my pieces neatly folded. I'm just going to do a rough check with the tin. That looks like it's going to be a good fit. Now the next thing I need to do is check the measurements going the other way. Okay, not too bad, but I do want to round off the corners of these first. So I'm just going to kind of freehand the rounded corners, and I'm using the Tonic Tim Holtz mini snips. And if these aren't an exact fit into the tin, that's going to be okay because I can always trim these later after I've put the pages together. Right now, I just want to round off the corners of these pages. Okay, one more set to go, and I will grab the washi tape. Okay, good. And I'll just brush these little scraps off. And I'm going to grab the washi tape and put the pages together. So I'm just lining up 2 pages together like this and sticking down a bit of washi tape. Nothing fancy. And I'll just trim off the little extra pieces near the corners. This is really just to hold the pages in place for the time being, because once we've put all the pages together, then I'm going to collage them. And for collaging, we're going to be pulling out the Entomology collage paper. Okay. All right, last page. Good. So we're going to take some of the Entomology collage paper, and I'm going to tear off a chunk. About here should be good. And we're going to get the collage medium and start collaging these pages. Now that we've collaged the first side, it's time to trim off the little extra pieces. So I'm just going to take the mini snips and just quickly snip off the pieces that are hanging over the edge. Just a nice, easy, quick trim. Okay, a couple more little snips and this will be all set. Okay, that is good for now. So let's take a look back at the tin lid. That also needs a little bit of a trim. So we also had this and we had some overhang. So I think for this section, I can actually just tear off the little pieces of overhang with my fingers. Pieces aren't too big. Okay, almost done with the lid. Maybe I do want the scissors just for a moment. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, just a couple little spots that still need trimming. All right, now that we have our edges trimmed, it's time to start the collage portion of this project. And to do that, I'm going to be using a collection of Idea-ology paper dolls, as well as some of the Idea-ology snippet pieces. I'm also going to be throwing in some washi tapes. So let's just move our supplies right here. And I'm going to start at this end and work my way to the other side. And again, I'm going to be using Collage Medium as my primary adhesive. So here are some of the pieces that I'm going to be working with. I've got all sorts of little bits of ephemera in here and a selection of paper dolls. So I'm going to be alternating each chunk with a paper doll. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through here and start picking some characters to add to the collage. And I'm just going to do a layout right now, and then we'll come back and rearrange it a little bit and touch things up until I'm happy with the setup. Okay, that's good there. And I think I'll add one more paper doll right there. Okay, so now I want to start adding in collage elements. And this is going to be pretty haphazard. I'm just going to put things down and then I'll move them around as I work my way through the collage process. So I have a mixture of pieces. Some are from the Idea-ology snippets, some are from the field notes, and I have some tickets from Ticket Book. So I'm just going to be mixing and matching pieces and just trying to find what works. Okay, let's see. Oh, I like the postage stamp. That's got some nice texture around the edges. Just put that there and add some other little snippets in. I'm also going to be adding in some word stickers as well. So I'm going to leave a little bit of space on some of these sections for the word stickers too. Okay, I'm just going to move this down a little bit so we can look at that other square here. Okay, I'm happy with that for the moment. Okay, looking over here, these squares need a little bit more in the way of elements. Ooh, I like that. And a little piece right there. So many fun little pieces to choose from. I love collaging. It's very freeform and just putting down elements, there's like no pressure. All right, just a couple more pieces and then I will start gluing things down. Ah, mushrooms. Perfect. Okay, well, I'm pretty happy with the setup, so let's go ahead and put this on fast forward while I glue things in place. Now that our collaging is done, it's time to add some stickers. I'm going to be using stickers from the books, Big Chat, and the Clipping Sticker Book, both from Tim Holtz Idea-ology. So let's see. Starting over here, I'm going to start with that, traveling the world. Put that sideways. Over here, I think we could put courage and strong. Let's see. Oh, adventure. That would be a good one right here. Let's see. Over here, I think we might go with the power of thinking. I'll turn that just like that. And one more. I think this one would go perfectly right here. Okay, so I am happy with this side for the moment. Now we're just going to flip this over and start the collage on the other side. So to start with, I'm going to be using some collage paper from the Tim Holtz collage paper set, typeset. I think just about this much will be good. Quickly give that a cut, and then we'll start gluing it in place. Okay, time to grab some more collage medium. And I'm just going to spread that onto here. All right, just slathering down a bit of collage medium. We're going to put that over the first 4 segments, and then we'll put down the collage paper. All right. Ooh, both sides are good. So let's go with this side. Just going to try to kind of line that up and smooth it down. Okay, I'm liking that. Now we'll just turn this over, and I'm going to quickly trim off the extra bit here, and then we'll collage the other half of this accordion fold. Okay. Good. All right, we'll add some collage medium to the other half. And then we will set it aside and let it dry. Okay, and let's put that down. Just scooting that over a little bit like that. Laying a bit more of the collage medium over the top. I want to flip that. The text is going kind of the wrong way, but not a big deal. Just move that, smooth it out, add some collage medium. Good. And I'll just trim this part off, and I can stick that a little bit at the end. Okay, quickly turning it over. just snip that off. Good. And I'm just going to rip a little bit off here. Got a little chunk to cover up over there. And once this is completely dry, then I will trim off all of the edges that are hanging over. And this can go right there. Okay, we'll come back as soon as this is all dry. Now that this is dry, let's go ahead and trim off the extra bits of collage paper. So just taking the Tim Holtz tonic snips and quickly trimming off the edges here. Once we've trimmed off the edges, we'll then start collaging on the other side. Okay. Just a little bit more to trim off. All right, last little section. Okay, so now we're going to collage this side, and we're going to be using some more Idea-ology pieces. Oh, missed just a little bit over here. Not a big deal, just go back and quickly snip. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Idea-ology pieces, and we're going to put this part on fast forward. Now that the collage is all dry, we're going to trim off the little extra pieces that are hanging over the edges. So I'm just flipping this over, going in with the mini snips, and trimming off those little extra bits. Okay, and getting back around the corners so that we have nicely rounded edges again. Got a couple of little scraps of the collage paper still hanging over, but this is a good time to clean all of that up. Okay, it's looking good. Oh, a little snippet right here. Okay, so we have now cleaned up the edges. So time for some finishing touches on our collage. Next, I'm going to be taking some walnut stained distress ink, and I'm going to be inking around the edges of each of these little pages. So using some dome foam and a mini blending brush, just going to get some ink, and we'll start adding that to the edges. And I am going to do both the front and the back of each side. Oh, looks like I missed a little curve here. There. So I'm just taking the mini blending tool, and I'm just rubbing that along the edges, going for that distressed look. And we'll just work our way all the way down one side and then onto the other. So for this, I'm kind of finding that just holding this at an angle is giving me the best results. And we'll work our way back on the other side. I'm finding that adding the little bit of added distress just adds to the grungy vibe that we've been going for this little mini journal set. And as I'm inking, I'm just finding little spots that can use a slight touch up with the scissors. Okay, almost done. Okay, not bad. We've got this all nice and inked. So I'll be back in a moment. I'm just going to quickly do the reverse side, and then we'll see about putting this into its casing. Now that both sides are all nicely inked, it's time to put this into its casing. So what we're going to do is take some super glue, and I'm using the gel super glue. I want this to be fast drying, so that's the only reason I'm switching adhesive mediums. And I'm going to add the super glue into the casing. Just gonna make a little spiral and then stick the page in. Okay, so I'm taking the side that I've put an X on because I didn't collage over here, because this spot is going to be getting pressed directly into the casing. So just push that down. I'm going to hold that a moment, and then we're going to set this aside. Okay, so we're going to set this aside, and we're going to work on making a little band to go around the casing. So to do that, I'm going to be using some washi tape, and I'm going to make a double-sided belly band to go around the tin lid. So I'm going to grab the set that I did earlier just to use this as a rough measurement. I'm going to stick that on here, wrap it around just to get a general feel of how much washi tape I need. Okay, about there looks good. Pull that off. And I'm just going to set this down, sticky side up. And then I'm going to get a second piece of washi tape, just about the same length, a little bit shorter because I'm going to need a little bit of stickiness to overlap. And now we're going to make this into a double-sided band. Okay, bringing the camera down just a little bit more, checking the sides to make sure that we've got everything lined up. Okay. So I'm just going to gently stick this to the end, and we're going to line up the edges. And I'm going to gently stick that down so that we're going to have a double-sided piece to work with. Okay, looking good. All right, now I'm just going to wrap this around here. This is just kind of a placeholder until the other set is ready. Might need that just a teeny bit tighter. Okay. Not quite. All right, right there is good. And I'm going to get another piece of tape. And this I'm going to use to secure this end. Okay, and I'll just slide that off. And I'm just going to take this other piece of tape and I'm going to wrap it around this belly band. And that's going to hold our mini junk journal closed. Okay. Now let's bring our mini journal back and make sure that the glue has set. Yep, that's looking okay. So last part, we're just going to accordion fold this down into the casing. Just like that, and there's our cover page. This is our journey, the sweet prize of life. It's overhanging just a hair, not a big deal. I can easily scoot the stickers over. Maybe not. Actually, that should be okay. That is looking pretty good. Next, we are going to accordion fold our little book into its casing. And here's our cover page saying, "This is our journey, the sweet prize of life, happiness." And we'll just close that up. And I can slip the band right over. Now, looking at this, I think I want to add one little piece to the band. I want to add a token, and this is perfect. It says story. So to highlight the text, I'm just going to take some Distress Crayon Picket Fence, and we're going to scribble that over the top. Good. And then I'll just take my finger and smush the crayon into the token. All right, that works. And I'm just going to take a little piece of string, and we'll then attach that to the washi tape band. So just tying off a quick knot, and I'm going to trim this down once I have it positioned. That looks good. And we'll just take the band, grab another little piece of washi tape. I'm going to place that right here, and I'll just wrap the washi tape around it. Okay, I am pretty happy with this. And I will trim off the little extra pieces of string hanging over the edge. Good. And that little extra bit of washi tape. All right, let's put this on the mini book and see how it looks. And we'll just twist the band just a little bit. And there we go. Here is our finished mini journal. Thank you so much for joining me here today for the Funkie Junkie Challenge for mixed media. If you'd like to see a written description of this project, I will leave a link down in the description for my blog. And we greatly look forward to seeing all of your entries over at the Funkie Junkie Challenge blog. And I will be leaving a link in the description so that you too can join the creative fun. So until next time, happy crafting.